We've all done it. The impulse buy. The late-night scroll that ends with a new gadget, shoes, or trip booked. For a brief moment, the world feels lighter. The stress fades. You feel rewarded. That's dopamine. It's a tiny chemical spark that tells your brain, good job, you just survived. But here's the paradox. When you save money, when you do the right thing, you feel nothing. No thrill, no rush, just emptiness. Why does spending feel good but saving feels hollow? To answer that, let's start with a story. In 2010, a neuroscientist named Brian Knudsen studied people's brains as they made shopping decisions. He discovered something fascinating. The anticipation of buying, not the purchase itself, triggered a surge of dopamine in the brain's reward center, the same area that lights up for food, love, or gambling. Your brain isn't chasing the product. It's chasing the feeling of possibility. The moment you click Add to Cart, your brain releases that sweet chemical high, a quick hit of pleasure, as if to say, you're improving your life. But once the excitement fades, so does the dopamine. That's why after you buy something, the satisfaction often disappears. You're not addicted to things, you're addicted to anticipation. Now compare that to saving. When you transfer $100 into your savings account, there's no celebration, no lights, no rush. Just a silent number on a screen. Your brain interprets that as loss, not progress, because evolution wired us for survival, not long-term planning. To your primitive brain, saving money means parting with resources you could use now. In ancient terms, it's like hiding food in a cave instead of eating it today. Rationally smart, emotionally unrewarding. That's why saving feels boring. Because from your brain's perspective, it's not a victory, it's self-denial. But here's the twist. This same brain chemistry can be trained. The same dopamine circuits that make you overspend can also make you enjoy saving if you change the feedback loop. Think about how habits form. Every loop has 3 parts: cue, action, reward. Most people have cues like stress or boredom gives action. Scrolling gives reward. Dopamine hit from buying. Saving breaks that loop because there's no immediate pleasure. So, what if we added one? Gamify your progress. Each time you save, visualize the result, not the number, but the life behind it. The freedom, the peace, the lack of panic when something breaks. Label your savings account with emotional goals. Trip with my son, debt-free peace, freedom fund. When your brain links money to meaning, dopamine follows. There's another way. Replace impulse with anticipation. Instead of blocking your spending urges, delay them. When you want to buy something, wait 48 hours. Your brain still gets its hit of anticipation, but when the time comes, 80% of the time, the urge disappears. You've enjoyed the dopamine without paying the price. It's how you build dopamine discipline, letting your emotions run without letting them ruin you. But there's a deeper truth beneath all this chemistry. Spending feels good because it feeds control. When life feels chaotic, money becomes the one thing you can command instantly. One click, and something changes. Saving, on the other hand, feels passive, like waiting. And humans hate waiting. Yet the richest people aren't chasing pleasure. They're chasing calm. They've learned that peace is the highest ROI. Every dollar unspent is not a sacrifice, it's stored confidence. That's the shift. Moving from dopamine-driven money to serotonin-driven wealth, less about excitement, more about stability, gratitude, and peace. So the next time you feel that itch to buy, pause and ask, what am I really craving? If it's the feeling, redirect it. Intentionally, celebrate the calm. Reward yourself in small sensory ways. A coffee, a walk, a moment of silence, so your brain still gets its chemical closure. Because the goal isn't to kill dopamine, it's to earn it. We live in a world designed to sell emotion, not goods. Every ad, every flash sale, every dopamine trap whispers, buy this, you'll feel better. But the truth is quieter. ULL feel better when you daren't need to buy anything to feel better. And that, ironically, is the richest feeling of all. Yes. If this story made you think, share it with someone who's chasing calm over chaos. Like, subscribe, and join me next week for the pain of paying. How credit cards trick your mind. Until then, breathe. The richest moments cost nothing.